Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, and we got a great day lined up today. Don't forget Friday's training. Join us every Friday. Hopefully, you enjoyed the playbook. One of the top podcasts. Just download it, like it. It has all the trainings, entrepreneurs, billionaires, millionaires, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers are all there for you. Even one of our guests today, Kevin Harrington. You'll see him there. He is one of my good friends and great guys of the world. They don't make them better than him, as you'll see. Anyway, let's go. Let's get the questions rolling. Well, welcome, everybody. We will get it going here. Joseph, always good to see you. Always good to see everyone. Colleen, Team David Meltzer. You can email me if you need anything. David@dmeltzer.com. Email me guides, books, exercises, the playbook. Download that. David@dmeltzer.com. Trainings on Friday, replays, whatever you need. David@dmeltzer.com. We're doing well there. All righty. Very good. The questions are piling in. Let's answer them. Here we go. Is Miles sad that Hunter Henry signed with the Patriots? Depends on who the Chargers signed for tight end, but he wasn't too high on Hunter Henry. He thinks we can do better, the GM and Miles. So good question, though. He's super, super excited about our center that we got yesterday. I forget the kid's name. Where can one find mentor and how? Just email me, David@dmeltzer.com. David@dmeltzer.com. Happy to help you. David@dmeltzer.com. We got free, group, one-on-one, all that to help. Not a problem. What intriguing topics, subjects have you been studying lately? The accumulation of negativity and positivity, and the awareness of negative and positive results, and the latency works in the favor of negativity. So that's what I've been working on, is the latency of the results, of our ability to be aware of results from our consistent behavior, whether it's negative or positive, works in favor of negativity. It's cool to make podcasts, but what about making real money, not losing? Yeah, exactly. It's about making money and helping people and having fun, and I'd be happy to help you do so. I have paid the dummy tax and understand exactly the three components. You can't give what you don't have. How do you give up a high-paying, miserable job for a fulfilling career? Well, first of all, learn to love what you're doing and get better at it. The more money you make and the more time that you have, the more options and opportunities you can take advantage of that can grow into a equal or greater opportunity than the one that exists. So lean in, look at what the good parts are, find the light, the love, and the lessons in what you're doing. There are, is high-paying jobs are only miserable if you think they're miserable. You need to find the light, the love, and the lessons, make more money, more time, giving you more options and opportunity in order to effectuate what you want to do, finding some things that may, number one, be positive about what you have. That's the perspective of gratitude. And then two, there may be something more interesting out there for you. How do you keep your motivation? I don't think you can keep motivation. Motivation is temporary. Motivation gets you up, gets you back up, gets you started, gets you back started. But inspiration will get you there. And so distinguishing between what's getting me fired up, but what's going to get me there is a heck of a shift. And it's an important one, because fear can motivate us, but fear will drain us. It's one of the biggest soul suckers out there. So you want to work within the context and realm of what not only motivates you, but how do I transition that to clear the interference to what I'm always connected to, that inspiration, in spirit, allowing things to come through me for everyone else. All right, I will bring on, let's just see here real quickly. We got go live here. Gadnom. He is the co-founder of BioHM Health. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for, we've had some not so smooth transitions with IG changing. So I love the fact that was so smooth.
Yeah, it's constantly changing.
Well, anyway, I want to talk about super green and super red because obviously I think everyone kind of knows the super green space. So let's start with the super red. You guys have super red supplements, and what's the significance of the super reds versus the super greens?
Yeah, totally. taking a step back, so I'm a biotech attorney by background, and so my father is my business partner, and he's the Washington Post called him the leading microbiome researcher in the world. So to this day, he's funded by the NIH. So everything we do is to take that science and turn it into products that really make a difference for people's gut health, their microbiome. So with the Super Reds product, what we were trying to figure out was, the problem with probiotics or a lot of these products is, how do you know if they're actually doing anything, right? How do you make it accessible? Not everybody wants to take a capsule. So with the Reds product, we were looking for a way, could we create a way to have antioxidants, so 14 super red ingredients that are just packed full of antioxidants, functional mushrooms, digestive enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics, because one of the things people don't realize is that you can take all the probiotics you want in the world, but if you're not creating sort of the perfect ecosystem for probiotics to really grow, it's really not going to do much. So you really got to take that holistic approach to building like the proper, sort of topsoil in your gut.
Yeah, it's so interesting, I think, about all supplements and, anything within the realm of biochemistry for me is it's, kind of like social media. It's so multivariable. And, we kind of go off the shelf and you're looking for a custom suit and you're pulling one off the shelf that not only doesn't even have sizes, it just is generally a suit.
Right.
And I think that applies to so many things. How can we figure out the best suit or supplement that fits our personal multi-million variable creation that we are?
Well, one of the things we always say is probiotics are like any other dietary supplement. They really should be a supplement to what you're doing with your diet, right? So the first thing we say is any product is almost going to be worthless if you're not doing what you need to be doing with your diet. So when it comes to gut microbiome, plant-based, looking for ways to introduce more fiber. The average person gets about 10% of the fiber they should be getting. And then the other piece that a lot of people overlook is your lifestyle can really impact your gut health. So the way, how much you sleep, stress. And when people talk about stress, they think, it's only about like, am I getting anxious, worried, like mood? But a lot of times people don't realize that it can also be the way you exercise, right? So we've worked with people that have, they look out of muscle and fitness, but they have terrible digestive issues. And the problem is they didn't realize that they're putting so much stress on their system that it's throwing their gut microbiome out of whack. So we always tell people, before you think about products, what are you doing with your diet to optimize your gut microbiome, and then your lifestyle, and then, even things like that glass of red wine, for some people it does great. Other people, it can be a big issue for the microbiome. So we always say, take a holistic look and see, are you doing everything you can to optimize your microbiome?
Now, one of the things that people do is they look at indicators of what's wrong. And I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a fan of, okay, what are some indicators of what illustrates good, gut health? So, because if we focus in on and we spread the word on what indicates what's good gut health, I think more people manifest good gut health than the minute we start saying, oh, if you burp a lot,
Totally.
you got bad gut health. And pretty soon, the next time you burp, you start manifesting and focusing on bad gut health. So I prefer if you could give us some indicators that illustrate good gut health.
So I love that approach. And actually, you're probably the first one in years that has asked from that perspective. So I would say the first is, it sounds very simple, but are you going to the bathroom on a regular basis, right? If you are, that is a great indication that you're doing things right. Why? Because a lot of the other symptoms we talk about are actually not the cause. So an easy one is bloating and gas, right? So a lot of people will think, oh my God, what am I doing? I must produce a lot of gas. No, what's really going on is your system's just backing up. So the gas that you are normally producing, it really doesn't have anywhere to go. But if you're really having regularity, you're going to the bathroom, at least once a day, you're keeping the system going. So a lot of times, like we always joke internally, like we're a poo company, right?
Yeah.
And we always talk about like that feeling after going to the bathroom where you just feel awesome. You know what I mean? Like, and so if you get that feeling, things are going right, you're probably taking care of the system. The other is there's something called the gut-brain axis, right? Where it's what we're understanding is there's a two-way highway between, our mental health and our brain health and the GI. Now, it's early days. I always say that, like, promising science doesn't mean necessarily proven science, but what is proven is there's definitely a connection. So, are you clearly focused? Do you feel, mental energy? Those are things that are probably tied to doing what you need to be doing on the microbiome. So those are two easy ones. And then the other is like, do you generally not really deal with digestive issues? A lot of people ask, like, especially that are optimizers, like we have people like UFC fighters, bodybuilders, like, do I really need to worry about this? We'll say maybe, it's sort of like back health, right? A lot of people have herniated discs, but it doesn't cause them any issues. So don't mess with it, right? So if you're feeling good and it's not your microbiome, just, go on with life.
It's interesting in Eastern culture, the stomach is the center, right? It's called the main Ming. It's the one that's controlling your connectivity to everything, including the heart and the brain. And a lot of people
Totally.
don't talk about gut health and heart health and how those are relative to each other. Could you explain a little bit about how the gut health does help the heart health?
Well, one of the things that people really need to understand is just how complex the entire thing is, right? And that's one of the things that frustrates people, especially when they're talking about how to optimize gut health or what products is. You don't know what the causes are, right? So when you're talking about heart health, one of the things that people have heard of are probably plaques, right? Like plaques in their arteries. Well, that same idea, plaque, is the scientific name for it is biofilm. And all that is a collection of organisms that slowly but surely build up and start causing issues. So biofilm, you've probably heard of, is like dental plaque, right? So the reason we want to remove that plaque is it's covering these organisms that are just going to town on our teeth, our gums underneath. Same things happening in GI, same things happening, in our cardiovascular system. So again, all these things are tied. If you're exercising well, if you're eating a proper diet, like mostly plants, a little bit of lean proteins, guess what happens? All these other systems in your body start to catch up. So you won't see a ton of talk around the direct connection between heart health and microbiome health. But if you're taking care of your microbiome, these other systems in your body almost invariably are optimized.
It's so interesting because the key, I research every day. I spend a minimum amount of time learning
Yeah,
because that's why I think our purpose is here to learn. And obviously, your hyper academic background probably aligns with that as well.
right,
But more importantly, I was talking earlier about how the aggressive compounding effect of the human genome, the entire human being, conscious,
right,
subconscious, and unconscious being, it works to the favor of negativity, which is why I stay so far away from it, because we don't get to be aware of any results until we've created almost a 90% runway to it. And
right.
so if we're doing something negative, we almost don't know till it's too late because we're already 25% of the blockage in our heart or 25% into bad health for our stomach before any awareness. Like, and then to the positive, if we're doing something positive, the same way, we're an instant gratification mental world. If we're not seeing an instant result, we're like, oh, well, that must not be good for me.
Right.
And we stop doing it. So, on both respects, whether you're trying to do the good things or you're doing bad things, the negativity has the advantage over the positivity. So I'm trying to help people in this respect with Super Green and Super Red supplements that you guys have, understand, okay, when are these results, going to show up? How long does it take to see, the first 25% of the results? Or do we, it's just too diminished in its advancement to even be aware of?
That's a great question. So the first thing is, and we actually, my father wrote a book called Total Gut Balance on the role of fungi in our gut health. And what he found was that in 24 hours, you can shift the fungi in your microbiome. Well, we actually did a clinical trial with our biome products. And what we found was we did DNA genetic sequencing on their gut at baseline. They took biome for 30 days and we tested them again, we found that we were able to adjust the candida in their gut, other organisms in their gut. So typically what we'll say is, in a couple of weeks, you should start seeing the results. But again, it's one of those things that you have, probiotics are kind of like the new multivitamin, right? Like if you're really taking a holistic view to your health, it's one of those things that the effect adds up over time. But usually we see people seeing, if they're combining that with a good diet, a couple weeks. Now, the one nuance to that, though, is a lot of people, they'll read about prebiotics, for example, which is basically a fancy word for dietary fiber. And they'll go crazy. They'll have an amazing salad every day. They're eating lentils. They're trying to get green bananas, which are like really good prebiotic foods. And then they'll start feeling really bloated and they're like, it just doesn't work for my system. What's actually happening is because of the way we typically eat, which is, really not plant-based, our body starts losing those enzymes that are really good at breaking down those leafy green vegetables. So it starts reacting, starts building those gases. So for the first week or two, a lot of people will stop thinking it's not working for them, but it's just their system readjusting. So if you're going to do it, you got to give your system time, because it's been used to, frankly, eating like garbage a lot of times, so it doesn't happen overnight.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. This is such important information. Everybody can find you at biohmhealth.com. Is there anywhere else that you'd like them to reach out to learn more?
Yeah, on IG, it's at Biome Health, BIOHM Health, or just biomehealth.com.
You got it, my friend. Afif, thank you so much. Please come back and join me. I'm so interested in what you're teaching.
I appreciate it, brother. Take care.
Take care. Awesome. All right. Pretty good information there. If you are not a fan or aligned with the BioHM health program, check out gut health, and I think you'll find major advancements. All right, we got special guests coming up next. My friend Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank. Hopefully you guys will enjoy him. Sounds like Neil deGrasse Tyson. That's good. All right, let's see if Kevin is here. I'm sure he'll be joining here in a minute. We got the real Kevin Harrington. You know you're the real deal when you got to put the real David Meltzer, the real team David Meltzer. Here we go. Mahomes to drop the first athlete NFT. Yeah, I saw that. Lee sent an email out, Lee Steinberg, about that. Here we go. This answer here. Question on focus in multiple revenue streams. What are your strategies to not spread yourself too thin? Well, my strategy is to lean into what I'm doing to create more time and more money in order to effectuate future opportunities. And so looking into that allows me to keep on moving by having enough time and enough money to keep on expanding, growing with multiple revenue streams. So take the consistent variable, the dependent variable of what you're doing today. And if you can do it well enough that there's more time and more money, then move on to the next one, do the same thing, lean in, time, money, the next one, more time, more money, the next one, and those systems will keep on exponentially growing as well. Like I said, these positive aggregates work just as well as the negative aggregates. It's just the fact that we can't be aware of the results. Therefore, the negative aggregates have an advantage over the positive aggregates. It's that simple. And that's in every realm of the universe. Expands and grows upon itself. And we are here to create upon ourselves. That's the whole idea of the universe. That which we created will create. And looking at that in the aspect of aggregate, negative and positive, you'll see why the negative has the advantage, but the positive will give you the advantage if you're able to do that. Can you define the difference between motivation and inspiration through your eyes, please? I've heard you define it before. So that's what training is truly about, is almost innovation versus entrepreneurship, but it's also motivation versus inspiration. So, the easiest way to describe it is motivation gets you up, gets you back up, gets you started, gets you back. It's like a rocket ship. It's going to get you out of the atmosphere, but you got to get to Mars or to Jupiter or to the moon. Once you get out in the atmosphere, you have to be connected, have the momentum carrying you. And that's what motivation is. Motivation is not inspiration. Motivation is the rocket, and inspiration is being in spirit, connected to and through, allowing your momentum to carry you. And if you lessen the resistance, you'll get to the moon or Mars faster than you would. But you got to get out of this atmosphere, and you need motivation to get up, get back up, get started, get back started. And there's different things that we do in order to be motivated compared to inspired, right? We have to shift the paradigm. Motivation, we can focus in on, lowering the bar, inspiration is much longer. It's clearing and shifting the paradigm of what's interfering with us and where we want to go. So look in there. Let me know if Kevin's here yet, the original shark on Shark Tank, the inventor of the infomercial. My man, thank you so much. I'm looking here. Kevin is on the way. All right, I'll keep taking questions. He's well worth waiting for. Hi, sir. I learned to shock the market. All right. Stay consistent in that. If you have any questions, if you want an inspiration versus motivation exercise, email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Happy to send it to you. Also, I have a search engine, maybe post it up there, search.dmeltzer.com. You can type it in there and all my videos on that topic will come up. Search.dmeltzer.com. You can check out any of the videos I have on motivation versus inspiration, on aggregate effect, whatever you want to look up. It's all free. Just check it out, search.dmeltzer.com. You'll enjoy it. Here we go. Are there real benefits to, I don't know. I'm not educated in that. Sorry. Which brings up a great point. If you don't know something, just say you don't know. There it is, search.dmeltzer.com. Do you have subliminal for food map? Reach out to Thief. I think he may. I do not. Innovate versus Entrepreneur this Friday. You can catch the replays, Spotify, Entrepreneur, Google, Apple, doesn't matter. Top podcast, the playbook. Download it, share it. Check me and Kevin Harrington out. We have gotten together on that podcast, how to deal emotionally with a failed business. Well, first of all, if you did your best and you learned the lesson, then you have not failed. You have gained lots. I lost over $100 million and see that as an investment into my future. It wasn't some sort of stop and go beginning and end. It's just a learning curve of me doing my best, learning as much as I can, and being as happy as I can, and making as much money as I can in the long run to help as many people as I can to, once again, be happy or have as much fun as I can. So keep these questions coming. Hello, all the way from Jordan. Good to see you in here. When buying and selling cars, how do you make sure the car is in good condition? Several different ways. One, you get a guarantee. Two, you can have an auto mechanic check it. So, those are the very, and then there's Carfax as well, which is a lesser certain way of seeing, what the history of the car is, if it's been in any accidents, etc. But the two best ways is, one, to get a guarantee, two, to have a mechanic check it. If you're going to be buying and selling cars, you need to have your own mechanic. How do you deal with grief? I stop, drop, and roll. Grief is a ego-based emotion. So when I feel grief, I stop, I drop down by breathing, get to center, and I roll in the right direction by using gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and effective communication or inspiration in order to effectuate the biggest connection I can so that I can get back to understanding and learning the lessons of that grief, etc. Let's take some more questions here. How do I identify the right mentor for you? Well, I think it's a matter of what you have for timing and risk tolerance, what knowledge you want. So finding someone in the situation that you want to be in or has knowledge of that. I think also determining whether you want to coach, or do you want to mentor, or do you want to coach/mentor, right? A coach is someone that will bring the best out of you. A mentor is someone that has situational knowledge, experience, and relationships and can give them to you. And a combination thereof is where I like to stay, right? I love to be the motivator, inspirer, but I also have knowledge that I love to share to accelerate someone's journey, because the easiest way to get to where you want to go is to find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. And so I try to be both of those. You can reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. several different ways I can help you for free in group settings and one-on-one. I'm happy to help anybody. David@dmeltzer.com. Good. Hey, Matt Fraser, you're here. Good to see you. Looking forward to seeing Kevin on here as well. Let me see here. How do you keep your motivation? When you keep your motivation, it's called inspiration. And so I have 4 values: gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and inspiration. And I use 5 daily practices in order to transition the motivation into inspiration. I got to know my what, personally, experientially, giving and receiving wise. I got to know my who can help me. 3, I got to know my how. So I'm a student of my calendar, lenses of productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. I need to know my now, prioritizing by the inventory of my values, what I can do now and what I can put into the repository for later activity. And most importantly, practicing ending fear with where we're at. All right, I'm going to add in my friend Delvin. Bro, what's going on? Here we go. Hey,
Hey, what's going on, Mr.
who
David? How
that?
you doing?
Who
Who
that?
that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Yes, sir.
Did you
How
know?
you doing?
I went to law school in New Orleans. My daughter went to Tulane as well.
Come on now.
She's living
Yes,
there right
indeed.
now. My daughter's a huge Saints
What?
fan. And then here's a real Saints trivia for you. Jim Mora, I played football at Occidental College. And the reason I played at Occidental College, unlike you, it's the only college that would let me play. But the cool but the cool thing about playing there is Jim Mora went to Occidental, and my senior year, I got a Senior Scholar Athlete Award when I was in college, and Jim Mora gave it to me, and he was also in my fraternity. So when he found out I was coming to New Orleans, I got to hang out. You know, unfortunately, it was the Bobby Abear days, but I got to hang
Oh,
out. I
yes,
got to hang
sir.
out with the team, and I became a huge Saints fan and a huge New Orleans fan. But you're now an author.
Yes, sir.
So how I'm working with a lot of athletes, transitioning them. What inspired you to be an author beyond being a great athlete and entertainer that you are?
You know what? It's something I always wanted to do, as a little kid, right? I always wanted to write a book, but I just never really had that guidance as to, how to get started, right? So I just waited on the time, I waited on God to let me know when it was the right time to write it, and yeah, now is the time.
And the book's your autobiography, which I, have delved into a tiny bit. When I wrote my first book, I had kind of section 1, which was a mini autobiography of telling my story to gain credibility and emotional attachment. For you, that autobiography, what was the main lesson in message, or if it's many, to helping people live through your shoes?
You know what? The whole message of me writing my book was to help anyone that's struggling with life and things that that we go through as and in our daily activities, right? I wanted to show people about perseverance, that no matter what you go through, no matter what would be what try to stop you or what gets in your way, it's always ways and things you can do to overcome anything. Don't ever hang your head. And that's what my story in my book really talks about. Just perseverance and overcoming adversity. And yeah, so it's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, and your story is what motivated me to go on a mission to empower over 1 billion people. So I had a 12-year-old daughter whose friend committed suicide. And man,
Wow.
I get choked up thinking about it because I still don't understand how someone that young could be put into a mental position. I understand older people, right? There's
Mhm.
drugs, there's alcohol, there's opiates, there's divorce, there's brokenness. There's a lot
Yeah.
of stuff that happens to you after you're 12.
Hmm.
But you were 9. You were
Yeah.
9 years old and you contemplated killing yourself.
Yeah,
What
man.
was going through your mind as a 9-year-old? How could things be that bad?
Well, first when man, and it was just a lot of darkness. It was a lot of darkness because as a kid, I didn't know where to turn. Was that normal? Was this, this is how life's supposed to be? And watching TV, you know, seeing the rich families and how they're, you know, having a mother, father, you know, they're there, you know, they're loving their children. And that's what I was expecting, right? I was expecting that. And my mom, my stepmom, she gave me that. She showed me that love and she showed me that attention and that affection. But my dad, on the other hand, you know, he didn't, right? He didn't really show me that. So I was just going through a lot of, you know, deep in darkness, man. And I was ready to leave this earth. I was in so much pain. I just didn't know where to turn, and go and get a gun was the next best alternative for me.
And where did you turn? And where should people turn?
Man, you know what? It took me a while. You know, it took me a while. Because like I said, still to this day, I still suffer from, you know, PTSD, and I still suffer from those nightmares and terrors. But I turned to God. You know, I forgave myself, I asked God to help me. I ain't gonna say figure out, but I asked God to help me understand, you know, my place in this world, because like I said, I wasn't there when my dad grew up. I don't know how he grew up, right? I don't know what he went through as a child or as a teen, right? So I just asked God to help me understand my place and my purpose in this life, and to forgive myself, and to forgive that resentment of my dad and things that he, you know, did to me. So that's why I turned to God, man. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, and I understand that. I have had several things throughout my own experience, and I came up with a saying that I was watching Rocky the movie, which I love, and you know, as he was getting his butt beat and he's lying there every time, Apollo Creed, you know, it was like, if I can look up, I can get up, right? And you have an inspiring quote that you love that I think's very similar to the one that I have. You know, if I can look up, I can get up. You have a quote that you love from Richard John Mack, right?
Oh
That
yeah,
you like
yes
a quote.
sir. That's my
And
guy. Yes sir.
yeah, yeah. What's that quote? Do you remember it?
Man,
Your quote.
not dead. Yeah, not dead. Can't quit.
Yep.
That's my guy, man. Yes
Quit.
sir. Yep.
That's it, man. And that's like, if I can get up. Sometimes we have to get real simple, and you know, lower the bar far enough to just say, look, my heart's still ticking. That means I got a lottery ticket, right? I got to
That's right.
look up to get up, and then I get up to get further, and I get further to get even further. For you, when we talk about God, and some people are religious and some aren't, you know, to me, it's talking about understanding what we're connected to. And, you know, when we realize there's huge mountains always in front of us, but what built those mountains are in us and through us. And that changed my whole perspective of everything. What piece of advice would you give to someone out there that's depressed, anxious, maybe has PTSD, other things, that they just wake up every morning wondering if they can make it to another morning? What would you tell them?
You know what? Just don't give up. Um, you know, there are better days, you know. It's only temporary. Um, like I said, not dead can't quit. You know, if we're alive and we're able to feel that pain, you know, that means we're alive. You know, we're not dead, so we can't quit no matter what gets in our way. No matter, you know, if the rent ain't paid, if bills ain't paid, if depression hits, anxiety hits. You have to know, you know, you have people looking up to you. You have people watching you. You have children. You have your nieces, nephews. You have all those people that's looking up to you. So you can't give up on them. So don't give up on yourself. Always believe in yourself. Know that you're going to get out whatever hole or funk you're in, and ask God. Like I said, it's just ask Him. What I do is I do yoga. You know, I do yoga. Yoga and meditation helps me when I get feel myself going into those deep spaces. I just do yoga, man. It helps me meditate. So I advise that.
Can't give what you don't have. You got to find your own light so that you can share that light with others and inspire them and liberate them with that light, because there's many people out there, no matter how you're feeling, many people out there feeling the same way. And you wrote an incredible book, Unbroken, spelled the French way, the Saints way. So UNBREAUXKEN, just in case people don't know. We posted it up there. You got to check out this book if you want to be motivated and inspired. If you at all suffer from any type of these types of challenges, this is your guy. Follow him, look him up, buy his book. Thank you so much, Delvin. You come on anytime. I look forward to doing more with you. And when I'm down in New Orleans, I will look you up in a couple months. We will have a couple hurricanes or something on me.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. David.
Thank you, Delv. Take care.
All
Check
right.
out Unbroken, the incredible Delvin Bro, Senior, the man, the myth. Incredible story. A journey once again. All right. Patiently waiting has been the original shark. My man, where are you? Kevin Harrington. Hopefully you patiently waiting there. I am joining you now. If you don't know Kevin Harrington, you've been hiding under a rock. It says here he's the inventor of the infomercial. I There he is, the top of his head, the top of the train. What's going on, my friend?
Hey, buddy, you can see me?
Oh, I can see you, your handsome face.
I am in my car. How about that, huh? You never
Is
know.
that's a Tesla? Am I
Oh,
right?
well, it's a Bentley.
Oh, never heard of it. Anyway,
Okay.
well, when you're
How you
original
been,
shark,
buddy?
how are you?
I'm fantastic. Well, so this morning I started early. I filmed dozens of commercials, and now I'm on my way to another filming. We're filming a franchise business that we're doing, and so it's kind of a crazy day, but I'm really excited to be able to tie into what you're doing. I've been listening, and sounds like you guys are talking about some good stuff. So let's have some fun.
Yeah. Well, I had a great compliment last week. Someone said, Dave Meltzer, you are almost in as many deals as Kevin Harrington. And I was like, oh my God, I'm almost at the Mecca. That's amazing. I'm almost in as many deals as Kevin Harrington. So
uh, hey,
speaking of that, we have to look to
we're
the
all
industry.
hustling, right?
Yeah, doing our best. So, you are in a lot of deals. What do you see coming up in the next quarter for opportunities industry wise? You see more deals than anybody, and I'm just at a mere second place on seeing deals. So love to get your advice on what's going on the next quarter.
Well, so you mean there's been a big shift in the market, So I mean, I've been dealing with QVC and HSN for 35 years. Of course, they sell a lot of jewelry, they sell a lot of fashion, they sell a lot of purses, but what's happening, what's big right now? Hey, they love DIY. I mean, do it yourself tools. They love housewares, fitness. As gyms were closed, people are like, hey, I should work out at home. So they're buying, home fitness products and home gyms. So I say you have to go with the pivot. Obviously, there's the PPE pivot, which is personal protection, masks and sanitizers. That's all out there, big time. But it's other things. I mean, for example, Sophia Richie, she's a celebrity, uh, uh, Lionel Richie's daughter. She was doing some high fashion stuff, and when COVID first hit, she focused on home clothing to look good around the house. So I think from celebrities to influencers to entrepreneurs, go with the pivot and what is the market demanding, right? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in this news, this whole space of CBD and hemp and feeling better and wellness also, so lots of great opportunities for entrepreneurs out there.
Well, there's a few deals that have come across my desk that are doing extremely well. Obviously, Celsius. I have a ton of that in my office and in my home.
Right.
Incredible product. But NakeFit is another one, the adhesive soles that I'm utilizing. And what do you feel about that one?
I love NakeFit because, and here again, where's the market going? So NakeFit is this product. It was designed and manufactured and invented by a group of very successful Italian businessmen, and these are protectant that fit onto the bottom of your feet, protectors for your feet when you're out in, whether it's the beach or the pool or walking the streets, or hey, in some religious circles, a lot of praying is done in bare feet, but now this is being accepted in the marketplace, and I mean, this is now sweeping the world. So, this product is just in Japan alone, over 1 million pair of NakeFits have been already sold in just one country. So I look at a product like this. Now I'm kicking it off here in the States and in other parts of the world we're looking at this as a big one because people want protection. They don't like bare feet anywhere, right? So I mean, whether you're walking around at in common areas at hotels or pools or whatever, it's a great protector and a product that's here to stay and has proven itself an amazing product. Thanks for asking, David.
Yeah, of course. Ask it again too. I read your book. It came out last year, I think, around September, and it's called Mentor to Millions. But I tell people all the time, if you want to get somewhere, find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. I kind of wanted to call it. Maybe we're older, but I wanted to call it the Thomas Brothers to Millions. There's an old. When we used to get directions to places, we have to use this Thomas Brothers guide where you look up the A6 to this square and it show you where you're going. And I think, your book to me is the Thomas Brothers Guide to Millions. And I was telling my wife that I'm like, this thing, if you follow the directions, you've paid all the dummy tax. We haven't been successful in every deal. I don't know any entrepreneur that has been, but the people behind us, if they follow the directions, they have a lot quicker path to success than we've ever had.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the whole concept of mentoring. And I mean, when I needed a mentor to help me raise capital, I got a former bank president. He was already there. He had the directions to get there, right? And so I'd been turned down by 5 banks, and this is back 30 years ago, right? When I first got started, and 35 years ago, he said, Kevin, I can get you the money from one of the banks that turned you down. No problem. You didn't know how to talk to them, right? You need directions, just like you said. And so that's what mentorship is all about. And Mentor to Millions, our book, it tells you how to get a mentor and how to be the mentor's best student. This is all important stuff.
Yeah, and one of the other things you do better than anyone is time. You're in so many deals, you mentor so many people, you're always out there. I see you on Clubhouse, I see you here on my Instagram. You're overlapping here, while you're in your Bentley. I don't know how you keep that white interior clean. But you also, what I want people to know, and part of the reason I wanted you to share today is, I asked you to help me with my charity. I'm the chairman of Unstoppable Foundation, and we're going to have a VIP session to teach people how to pitch, you and I. And it took you 2 seconds to get back to me and basically say, whatever you need to help other people, Dave, you're all in. If it was a business deal, you wouldn't take 2 seconds. You'd vet the shit out of it, tell me whether it's a good deal or not. But when it came to charity, you just instantly were available. And, I always think it's interesting how the people that are the most active are in deals, so many things, helping so many people, still somehow find time to instantly say, yes, we'll get it done. I'm here to help other people. How important to your success is helping other people more than just the unbelievable economic success that you have and business success that you have?
That's a great question. And thank you, David. And by the way, that it was easy for me to say yes because I knew, first of all, you and I are buddies. I knew you had already done the due diligence and this was something near and dear to you. I mean, it's easier for me to help you with a charity sometimes than even a business deal because that's something that really is near and dear to ourselves, to me. I have my charities, you have yours. Someday I'll ask you to help me with mine. And so this is a camaraderie that we've established as entrepreneurs, and that's important. And I think it's at the end of the day, Zig Ziglar, who mentored me years and years ago, Zig had a saying that I've lived my life by. You can get everything in life you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And so I think we both live that lifestyle.
Yeah, you elevate others all the time to elevate yourself. And I think it takes a lot of faith in order to trust the fact that when we help other people, it will come back to us. We don't do it because it's going to come back, but we have faith that elevating others elevates ourselves. Last question, real quick. Now you have so many deals out there. What are you looking for in a deal today? So you have an entrepreneur that comes to you and said, hey, I got, core fit, I'm core flex. What are you looking for in a deal when someone brings it to you?
Well, ideally, I like a product. I love products. So if we talk about a product, I like a product that has some kind of a magical transformation. If like Coreflex, use this and your hands, your arms are going to get better, right? Tony Little he had amazing transformations of people that lost weight, proactive skincare, transformation. But I think that's one. But I like to see a product that's got a little bit of attraction to it, something that's maybe been on Kickstarter, something that's been on a shopping channel, something that's tested in a funnel successfully, right? So if it's got a little traction, it's got a little proof of concept, that makes it a lot easier for me to jump in. I like to put my money to help scale something as opposed to spending 2 or 3 years in development, if you know what I'm saying, right? So
Yeah.
I like to scale instead of spending all the money on the development and the time up front. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it, buddy. And
Well, good. Well, Nate Fit's a good example because now the whole world is opened up, and like I said, you and I are old enough where we could not find the data of something in Japan that was working or in the that was working. Now we have a much bigger playing field. It's easier to hit singles and doubles and even some home runs. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go, my friend. You
Thank
are
you.
incredible. Thank you. Make sure that everyone checks out Kevin Harrington. You can find him kevinharrington.tv. The original shark on Shark Tank at Real Kevin Harrington. Buy his book. Get that Thomas Brothers Guides to Millions, the Mentor to Millions book. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon,
Hey,
Kev.
buddy. Thank you, David. Take care, man. See you soon.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Drive carefully. He's awesome. That's one of my mentors. As you get there, you co-mentor each other. And this guy is abundant and philanthropic. He's just a good person, and that's why good things happen to him. I'm going to break it down to the simplest form. He is amazing. And thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, of course, Delvin Bro, Unbroken. We got 2 good books there, Mentor to Millions, Secrets to Sex and Business, Relationships and Beyond. It came out last year. Check out both those books, Unbroken and The Mentor to Millions. Check out Kevin, check out Devin, check out Afif. I love all 3 conversations today. I'm going to take one quick question, and then we will see you tomorrow. Here we go. Let me ask this one. That's interesting. Any insights on NFL free agency as a former agent? Look, it's a matter of, hey, Jonathan Wells, speaking of free agents, the incredible Ohio State Bucket joined us real quick. Look, free agency is about communication and only finding the best team, and so it only takes one team in free agency. And so you have to have that perspective. You don't need to sell all 32 teams. You, as an agent, need to find one team that sees the value in your player as a free agent. And then you maximize and articulate the quantitative value of what a player can do and ask for less than what you can quantify in value. Make it a bargain. That's how guys like Taysom Hill get the contracts that they get. Cam Newton, agreement that he got. So let's see what goes on. Anyway, everyone, we are always here for you. Check out the playbook. It has everything on it. Go ahead, download it. The playbook. You can see all the millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs like Kevin Harrington, Afif, all these great people that will be on, and great athletes, celebrities, entertainers. You can learn a lot. It is the Thomas Brother Guides of podcast. That's it. The playbook. Download it, share it. All my trainings are on there. You'll love it. Great conversation. Absolutely every day. Sammy, good to see you. Please reach out. If I didn't get to your questions, just reach out to me, david@dmeltzer.com. We'll be here tomorrow, 8 a.m. You can reach out to me. We have Clubhouse on Friday. We have training on Friday. Innovators versus entrepreneur training. If you're interested in being an innovator or an entrepreneur or both, just reach out, david@dmeltzer.com. Thank you, everyone, so much. Look forward to seeing you later or tomorrow. Download the playbook. You'll love it. And remember, most importantly, number one, thank you to all my great guests, Afif, Kevin, and Delvin. But more importantly, be kind to your future self. Do good deeds.